Let me ask you something. What if just 10 minutes could change the entire trajectory of your day? What if how you start your morning is the difference between surviving and thriving? You think success is about luck. No, it's about rituals, it's about decisions, and it's about the energy you bring into every moment. Most people wake up reacting, but you're here to rise with intention. So stay with me. I'm about to give you a strategy, a system, a spark that will make every day your masterpiece. Are you ready to ignite? Let's go. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone. Think about that. Before their feet even touch the ground, they're already checking messages, scrolling social media, reacting to emails. Their brain hasn't even had a chance to reset or breathe, and they've already let the world hijack their thoughts. That's not living, that's reacting. You weren't born to live in reaction. You were born to live in creation. And the first 10 minutes of your day, that's your canvas. That's your moment to decide how the rest of your day will unfold. That's your time to prime your mind for power, not pollution. See, you can't control everything that happens today. Life will throw curveballs, but you can absolutely control how you enter the day. And the way you begin sets the tone for how you'll respond, how you'll lead, how you'll show up. If you allow yourself to start your morning in a reactive state, you've already lost power. But if you condition your mind intentionally, you reclaim your center. You reclaim your drive. You set the emotional thermostat of your day instead of letting the world change your temperature. Here's what I do and what I'm teaching when you wake up. Before anything else, sit in silence just for a moment. Breathe. Feel that you're alive. Feel your heart beating. That's not something small. That's miraculous. Most people rush right past that. But those who lead their lives with purpose, they anchor in that awareness. Then take just 2 minutes to focus on what you want. Not what you fear. Not what you have to do, but what you desire. See it. Feel it. Make it vivid. That small act literally reconditions your nervous system to start moving toward it. And then choose your thoughts. Yes, you heard me. Choose them. Don't let your thoughts choose you. Prime your mind with gratitude, power, belief, and strength. Say it out loud if you have to. Your brain listens to your words more than anything. This is where you build your emotional muscle. And trust me, if you don't build it, the world will tear it down. The media, negativity, distractions, those things are always waiting to program you. But you're not here to be programmed. You're here to be the programmer of your own life. This is about claiming your mental real estate, about saying, I own my mind, and I'm not renting it out to fear, to comparison, to stress. Every single morning you have a chance to either step into chaos or clarity. The people who build unstoppable lives, they don't leave that choice to chance. They create a sacred space in those first few moments. That's where identity is forged. That's where momentum is born. And it's not just mental. This ripples out into your emotions, your focus, your decisions. When your mind is aligned, your actions follow. When you start your day from a place of calm control, purpose-driven thought, and powerful intent, you're not reacting to the world, you're leading it. You walk differently. You speak with more conviction. You attract better energy. Why? Because you primed yourself to own the day. So don't underestimate those first 10 minutes. Don't brush them off. Use them. Leverage them. Craft them into a morning ritual that sets your soul on fire. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. And if you start your day in the right direction, you become unstoppable over time. You don't need an hour. You don't need a perfect routine. You just need ownership, intent, and the willingness to break the cycle of unconscious mornings. Because the truth is, if you don't choose how your day begins, the world will choose for you, and it rarely chooses in your favor. So tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, don't touch that phone. Don't dive into distraction. Instead, remind yourself, this moment is mine. These 10 minutes are the ignition switch. And once you flip it on with purpose, you light up everything ahead. Your future doesn't begin someday, it begins now. When you wake up in the morning, your body is still carrying the residue of yesterday. Tension, fatigue, sometimes even emotional stress. Most people don't realize it, but body holds onto these emotions, these stories, this energy. And if you don't break that pattern, if you don't move that energy, then guess what? It moves you. That's why one of the most powerful things you can do to start your day is to breathe life back into your body, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Your body is not just a container. It's a power plant. It generates energy. It doesn't just consume it, but only if you know how to activate it. See, energy is not something you wait for. It's something you create. The difference between someone who drags through the day and someone who dominates the day often comes down to one thing, state. And state is created through movement, breath, and focus. Take a moment right now and stand up tall. Breathe deeply, fully, intense your shoulders. Shake out your arms. Stretch your spine, Do something that breaks the pattern of stiffness. You'll feel it immediately. Your body wakes up. That's not a trick. That's a tool. You're sending a message to your brain that says, we're alive. We're powerful. Let's go. Let's see, the body and the mind are deeply linked. You can't feel depressed if your shoulders are back, your chest is lifted, and your breathing is strong and rhythmic. Try it. You can't feel anxious when your breath is deep and your posture is open and grounded. The body tells the mind how to feel. So when you start your morning by moving your body, you are telling your mind, we are in control. We are energized. We are on a mission today. And I don't mean going to the gym for an hour. I'm talking 60 seconds of powerful breathing, 10 push-ups, a few jumping jacks, a walk with purpose, anything that activates the system and reminds you have a say in how you feel. Because most people wait to feel good to move. Champions move to feel good. They use movement as a weapon, as a strategy, as a daily ritual. There's a technique I teach called breath of power. 3 sets of 30 quick, forceful breaths in and out through the nose, followed by 1 deep breath and a hold. It changes your biochemistry in less than 2 minutes. You feel alert, strong, focused. Why? Because oxygen is fuel. It feeds every cell in your body, especially your brain. And when your brain is oxygenated, you're no longer surviving. You're creating. Now think about the people who never do this. They crawl out of bed, yawn, shuffle through their morning, check their phone, scroll through other people's lives, and wonder why they feel tired, overwhelmed, uninspired. It's because their body is dormant. Their energy is dormant. They're not engaging with life. They're enduring it. But that's not you. That's not who you came to be. You want to live with intention, with fire, with presence. That begins in the body, because the fastest way to shift your mind is to shift your body. You can read every motivational quote on the planet, but if you sit hunched over, breathing shallow, staying still, you will never feel the truth of those words. But if you move with intensity, breathe with strength, stretch with awareness, everything changes. And here's the beauty of a tug. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be an athlete. You just have to start. Start breathing. Start feeling that pulse of life again. The goal is not to become someone new. The goal is to awaken who you already are beneath the layers of fatigue and stress. You are a force, a presence, but you must access it. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, reach for your power. Breathe. Prime your system like the high-performance machine that it is. Make it a ritual, a moment of alignment between your body and your purpose. Because once you've activated your energy, real physical energy, you're not walking into the world tired and unsure. You're charging into it focused, driven, and unstoppable. Energy isn't a mystery. It's a decision. And that decision starts in your body. Own it, command it, and let it launch you into the greatness that's already waiting for you. Every day, the moment you open your eyes, your mind starts forming pictures. That's how the brain works. It's always visualizing. The problem is most people visualize the wrong things. They think about problems, stress, what could go wrong, what's missing. Their internal images are filled with doubt, fear, and uncertainty. And whatever you repeatedly picture in your mind, your nervous system starts to accept as truth. That's why it's critical, absolutely vital, that you begin each morning by visualizing victory, not problems. Your brain is a goal-seeking machine. It doesn't care if the target you give it is negative or positive. It just locks on. So if the first images you create in the morning are about stress, deadlines, drama, or pain, guess what you're going to attract throughout the day? More of it. Not because life is punishing you, but because you programmed your focus toward what you don't want. And focus is everything. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you wake up and focus on what you lack, you'll experience lack. If you focus on fear, you'll find more to fear. But if you wake up and decide, and I mean decide with intensity, to see yourself rising, succeeding, overcoming, building, thriving, then your body, your emotions, and your actions will begin to follow that image. Your thoughts shape your chemistry. Your chemistry shapes your behavior. And behavior, repeated over time, shapes destiny. It all starts with a vision. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the absolute best version of yourself. Not a fantasy, not some perfect image, but a real you, the one that shows up with courage, speaks with conviction, moves with purpose. See that person facing challenges, but not backing down. See that person taking action, making things happen, lifting others up. Hold that image. Feel it. That's not a dream. That's a blueprint. And the more vividly and consistently you rehearse it in your mind, the more real it becomes in your life. Champions, leaders, creators, they all use visualization, not because it's magic, but because it activates the brain's GPS. It primes your subconscious to scan for opportunities, solutions, pathways that align with your vision. You literally begin to notice what others miss because your focus is locked in. Your brain starts asking better questions. How do I move closer to this vision today? What small decision brings me one step forward? What do I need to stop doing to become that version of me? You can use this power every single morning. It only takes a few minutes. Before the world comes rushing in, before your phone floods you with distractions, take time to sit still and visualize your victory. Picture your day unfolding with clarity, confidence, and purpose. See yourself walking into meetings with certainty. Hear the sound of your own voice delivering words that matter. Feel the satisfaction of finishing what you started. And don't just see it, feel it. Emotion is the glue that locks vision into your nervous system. The key here is not perfection. It's repetition. You don't need to be perfect with this. You just need to do it daily. The brain learns through consistency. Even if it feels awkward at first, stay with it. Your mind will begin to adapt. And soon, your internal pictures will begin to reflect the future you want, not the one you fear. And here's something powerful. When life throws challenges at you, and it will, your visualized self gives you a reference point. Instead of spiraling into old habits, you remember, I've seen this. I've trained for this. I know who I'm becoming. That image becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded when everything else feels shaky. Most people are walking around with mental movies of failure, anxiety, regret. But not you. You're going to create a different reel. One that plays every morning. One that builds you, reminds you, empowers you. This is not wishful thinking. This is mental conditioning. Just like you train your body, you must train your mind. And the first reps of that training start the moment you open your eyes. So don't waste those early moments worrying or doubting. Use them to shape the day ahead. Visualize with intensity. Lock on to your outcomes. Feel yourself already living the reality you're working toward. The more clearly you see it, the faster it becomes part of who you are. Because success doesn't show up randomly. It shows up when your vision becomes more real than your fears. And that, my friends, starts with what you choose to see each and every morning. Gratitude isn't just some feel, good idea, or trendy concept. It's a strategy, a real measurable, powerful tool that can rewire your entire nervous system for growth, for joy, for strength. When you start your day by locking into gratitude, you're telling your mind, I already have value in my life. I already have blessings. I already have momentum. And from that space, you're not reaching for success from a place of emptiness. You're building on a foundation of abundance. Most people begin their mornings thinking about what they don't have, what they haven't done, what's missing, what hurts. And then they wonder why they move through the day frustrated, anxious, or defeated. What they don't realize is that the thoughts they choose in the first few minutes of the day are shaping their emotional chemistry for the next 16 hours. Your brain is always listening. It believes what you tell it. So if you tell it that you're blessed, strong, and capable, it leans in that direction. But if you tell it that you're behind, tired, and overwhelmed, it obeys that too. Gratitude is not about ignoring problems. It's about shifting your starting point. Instead of waking up focused on problems, you begin your day focused on power. Gratitude trains your mind to scan for what's right, even when things aren't perfect. And the more you do that, the more your emotional baseline rises. Your capacity expands. You gain perspective. And that shift in perception becomes the key to breakthrough. Now here's the truth. Gratitude alone is not enough. It's the fuel, but action is the engine. There are people who sit in gratitude but never move. They feel thankful, but they don't build anything with that energy. That's spiritual comfort, not personal power. What you want is to feel thankful, and then take that feeling and convert it into motion. Gratitude without action is like owning a Ferrari and never turning the key. But when you take that grateful state and begin your day with purposeful movement, focused execution, meaningful decisions, that's when life changes. You can be grateful and still hustle. You can be grounded in appreciation and still push like hell toward your vision. In fact, that combination is where the real magic happens. Because now you're not chasing success out of desperation. You're chasing it out of inspiration. You're not running from fear. You're rising from purpose. Every morning, I want you to carve out just a few minutes. 3 to 5 is enough. Get quiet, breathe deep, and ask yourself, what can I feel grateful for right now? It doesn't have to be some huge achievement. Maybe it's your breath. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your strength to keep going even when it's tough. Maybe it's the fact that you're still here, still growing, still capable of more. Let that feeling flood your system. Sit with it. Own it. And once you've anchored that feeling of gratitude, move. Don't stay still. Get into action. Remind your body that this isn't just an emotional exercise. It's the beginning of momentum. That's what separates those who live in circles from those who move forward. It's not more information. It's not more luck. It's a decision to translate emotion into execution. Too many people start their day either in reaction or in stillness with no direction. But when you begin your day by anchoring yourself in gratitude and then take immediate intentional action, You're creating a wave of momentum that carries you through anything. You're training your brain and body to work together. You're saying, I appreciate where I am, and I'm still going to reach for more. That mindset is rare, but it's the one that transforms ordinary days into extraordinary ones. So don't just think about gratitude, practice it. Don't just feel inspired, move with that inspiration. The compound effect of doing this every single morning is massive. You begin to think differently. You speak differently. You show up for your relationships, your goals, your mission with a deeper sense of presence and drive. Your mornings don't need to be perfect. They need to be intentional. Let gratitude open your heart and let action open the doors to what's next. That's how you create unstoppable momentum. Not just by saying thank you, but by living like it. Gratitude fuels the fire. Action keeps it burning. And when you live your mornings this way, your days don't just happen. You build them. You own them. You lead them. And nothing becomes impossible.